Hello and welcome to another MiTunes podcast here at manxradio.com.
Marc Tyley, the nation station, Manx Radio.
There's a place in my head for all the things I've said. I play them over again and again, but I'll be alright. And why do I run from all the things I've done when every adventure is part of the fun and I'm alright? When bright lights they pull you down, take a deep breath, get off the ground. There's nothing in your voice that you won't recognize. It's only when you fall that you can learn to fly. No angels left to save you, just demons left to fight. It's time to be the hero in the story of your life.
Story of your life. Current single from Harriet, who joins me now, not just for a chat, but for MiTunes all this week. Congratulations, not only on that, but on the album.
Thank you so much, Mark, and thank you. It's been a long time since we spoke, so I'm really happy to be talking to you again. It's awesome.
Well, we just worked out it's probably nearly 8 years since a lot of us picked up on a beautiful song called Maybe This Christmas, which was autobiographical, really, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Actually, it's interesting. The outcome, my new album, I feel similarly about this, that often you write songs about something in particular, and then as you live with them over the years and you perform them again or maybe record a different version, that kind of thing, they end up meaning something else to you and even more. And maybe this Christmas is certainly something that has, over the years, has the meaning for it has become incredibly significant.
Yeah.
And has shifted slightly. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like songs, they're like plants, aren't they? You water them and they grow into something else.
Well, it may have been 8 years since we last spoke, nearly, but that song's been played every Christmas on this radio station and on many other radio stations right around the world, because it still, as you say, resonates, and it does grow every year. There's another dimension to it. You say, well, somebody said on your behalf, I have a piece of paper in front of me, I am an overthinker, a people pleaser, and a worrier. Is that all true?
Oh, that's me, Mark. Yep, down to a T. That's me. Absolutely. I have been since my mum tells me stories of when I was a, really tiny little girl and I was, like the weight of the world on my shoulders. And yeah, it's just in me. I mean, I don't know. I care so much about people. I'm very paranoid often about, something that, something I've said or done that might have had a negative impact on them or upset someone or all of that. And of course, it's really good to be that person, but also it's okay to just be human. A mistake can slip up and, swear, say something to somebody that actually you didn't mean to say, but you were having a terrible day. Like the world will forgive you. They will forgive you.
I don't think you can help who you are. I think you just have to work. You have to work with it, don't you? You are who you are, and you work with it. Now, very kindly, you're going to be with us all this week for MiTunes. Which is the first song? Oh, I've just seen it. We're going to go for a bit of ABBA. Now, tell me why ABBA.
I'm a really big ABBA fan, Mark. I love ABBA. I recorded the whole of The Outcome, my new album, in Stockholm in Sweden. So I felt that ABBA were in the room with me throughout the process. It's a very special place, Sweden, for music. Of course, the Swedish exports in terms of music is, it's vast, the list, but ABBA are probably the most significant for me and for many people. And the thing that I love about ABBA is the songwriting, the ability that they have to write something which can be so emotional, often quite sad and melancholy, yet we want to get up and dance to it. That's so many of their songs. And I feel that really following on from what we were just speaking about in terms of, how we put, the perception of ourselves, how we come across to other people, putting on a brave face when actually you're feeling terrible, that kind of thing. Actually, I think that's probably why I connect a lot with their music, because I am that girl, who will go out, oh, I'm fine, and inside I'm kind of dying because of something or other, and their music just makes me feel like I can do anything. I put on one of their tracks and walk down the street and I feel like I'm in a film. I feel like I could conquer the world. They have really mastered a feeling in everything that they do.
Well, let's have this first one. SOS.
Where are those happy days? They seem so hard to find. I tried to reach for you, but you have closed your mind. Whatever happened to our love? I wish I understood. It used to be so nice, it used to be so good. So when you're near me, darling, can't you hear me? SOS. The love you gave me, nothing else can save me. SOS. When you're gone, how can I even try to go on? When you're gone, though I try, how can I carry on? You seem so far away, though you are standing near. You made me feel alive, but something died, I fear. I really tried to make it out. I wish I understood what happened to our love. It used to be so good. So when you're near me, darling, can't you hear me? SOS. The love you gave me, nothing else can save me. SOS. When you're gone, how can I even try to go on? When you're gone, though I try, how can I carry on? So when you're near me, darling, can't you hear me? SOS. And the love you gave me, nothing else can save me. SOS. When you're gone, how can I even try to go on? When you're gone, though I try, how can I carry on? When you're gone, how can I even try to go on? When you're gone, though I try, how can I carry on?
My guest all this week on MiTunes is Harriet, who I first got the pleasure of talking to around about 8 years ago when a beautiful Christmas song called Maybe This Christmas grabbed our attention and lots of other people's, I should say, right around the world. But only just a week or so ago, a brand new album from her came out, and very personal, this album, The Outcome. You were talked about it yesterday. You dug deep, and but you've got collaborations going on as well. Can we touch on those collaborations?
Yes, so I actually on one of the songs, Burn, which was probably one of the hardest songs I've ever written, actually, because it really plucked at some strings inside that I hadn't, I didn't think I'd ever pluck, if you know what I mean. And the song is about just carrying too much weight on your shoulders and desperately wanting to learn to be able to just, let them go. And in this song, put them on the fire and let them burn, basically. I always felt that this song would work well as a duet. and I'm a big fan of an Indian artist called Nikhil D'Souza. He did release some stuff in the UK and have some success here, but his main success is in Bollywood, and he writes wonderful theme songs for films out there. He's so talented, and I love his voice. And so my team reached out to his and said, would you like to join Harriet on this song? And he did, and I was over the moon. And he comes in the second verse, and it's like he kind of puts his arm around me with the lyrics that he's singing, telling me that it's all going to be okay, and I've got this. And I feel like that's a message that we all need to hear sometimes.
A very powerful message. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I was thrilled that he joined me on that. That was, a very special collaboration.
We will play that a little later. Today's musical choice, though, I need to talk to you a bit about this, because singer-songwriters going through the various decades have been amazingly influential on a lot of writers today. And you're throwing back to one, I would say Tapestry is an album that anyone who's thinking about a career in the music business needs to listen to.
Absolutely. I remember when I first heard this record, because my dad's, I grew up listening to a lot of my parents' record collection, which mainly consisted of music from the 60s and 70s. And I would pick the albums that I liked the cover art of. I thought, she looks cute, or I love what he's wearing, or, whatever it was. And I loved the cover of Tapestry, her satin window with her tapestry and the cat and everything. It's just a wonderful moment, this kind of dusty room and all of that. So I remember my first experience of the album was actually the cover, picking it up. Wow, what is this, And I just fell in love with it. And the simplicity of the songwriting, it's not trying to prove anything. It's not trying to fit in. Carole King has just created a sound that now many people try to emulate. And as you say, deeply inspired by. And I'm a huge fan of her, and I love the album.
And from that album, this is It's Too Late.
Stayed in bed all morning just to pass the time. There's something wrong here, there can be no denying. One of us is changing, or maybe we've just stopped trying. And it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside has died, and I can't hide, and I just can't fake it. Oh, no. It used to be so easy living here with you. You were light and breezy, and I knew just what to do. Now you look so unhappy, and I feel like a fool. And it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside has died, and I can't hide, and I just can't fake it. Oh, no. There'll be good times again for me and you, but we just can't stay together, don't you feel it too? It's Still, I'm glad for what we had and how I once loved you. But it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside has died and I can't hide and I just can't fake it. Oh, no, 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 it's too late, baby. Now, darling, it's too late.
All this week on MiTunes, my guest is Harriet. Wonderful, wonderful musician, gorgeous, gorgeous voice. And it's about your voice, Harriet. I'd like to talk about your voice because when you first burst on the scene that Christmas with Maybe This Christmas, a lot of us almost had a little bit of a tingly, shocking moment thinking, oh my goodness, it's Karen Carpenter. And it was just like it wasn't, obviously, it was you, but it was a moment. It was an absolute moment. Is that just the way your voice developed as a youngster?
Thank you, first of all, because it is a huge compliment. She was very special, Karen. And there are much worse singers to be compared to, right?
Yeah.
My earliest memory of being compared to her was when I was about 13. So I think there's just something in my tone or, something that is similar. I don't try to sound like her or anyone else. My voice is mine as much as hers was hers. I can't really explain it, to be honest.
No.
It's a weird one because it doesn't feel like an influence. I did listen to the Carpenters and I loved the Carpenters growing up, but amongst many other artists. So yeah, I'm not sure whether it was a nature or nurture thing. I feel like it's just there.
Well, I was going to go back to yesterday's conversation about album covers. I didn't think their album covers were that cool. So because I know you said as a kid, I was also drawn to album covers and I wanted to play because they looked really cool. Their album covers were a bit dull by comparison.
Yeah, I think, and they got teased a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember watching an interview with the two of them and they were both really frustrated about, they said, people don't criticize our music. They just criticize what we wear or, all these kind of things that really are very trivial compared to the music itself. So it must have been quite difficult. But the first Carpenters album that I heard was Gold. So Carpenter.
Yeah.
Along with ABBA Gold, actually. All the gold records. And so the kind of best of, So that was my first introduction to their music. And I think from then I kind of, went digging and, found other things, other records they did, unreleased stuff, that kind of thing. But I've always had a very close connection with voices. Distinctive voices. My idol when I was a teenager was Ella Fitzgerald. I loved her voice. I wanted to sound like her. Their voice is like crystal, it's just perfection. No auto-tune, no, they didn't have any of that tempo.
No.
It's just wonderful. And the way that she delivered a song. And then, people like Mel Torme and David Gates of Bread, he's got a beautiful voice. George Michael, real distinctive voices. So I've always been very connected to, obviously the song is important, but for me, if I hear a voice, tone, something that really can draw me in.
Your next choice, again, an amazing artist, incredible producer, but it's one of those things as a radio guy, if I hear a Todd Rundgren sound, something about the way he constructs the harmonies, the orchestration, it's instantly recognizable as Todd Rundgren and the work he's done with many, many people. And you've chosen one of his most beautiful works.
So this, actually, I have to admit, I only discovered him very recently, like a year ago.
Oh, right.
I was working in Sweden with a fantastic producer and songwriter, Anders Hansen, who I wrote a few of the songs on my album, two in particular, which I just adore, Real and I Think of You. And he introduced me to this song. He just sent me a link to it and he said, we should do something like this. This was actually after I'd made the record. And I was like, what is this? This is amazing. I'm quite obsessive, Mark. When I hear a song I love for a week, I will listen to that on repeat and nothing else. And that's what happened. I was walking around Stockholm to and from sessions And I just had this song on repeat for hours and hours and hours. I just became obsessed with it. And I don't know what it is about it. There is something about the harmonies, as you say, which is very distinctive. But also the drum sound, this kind of like shuffly, I don't know, it's almost messy, but it's not. It's this wonderful, full, it rings. Everything rings. I just love it. Yeah, I Saw the Light, a great track.
My guest on MiTunes all this week has a wonderful single out, by the way. It's called Story of Your Life. And the album is out as well, The Outcome. And when we started talking to Harriet at the beginning of the week, we talked a little bit about your personality and also how, there are certain things you have to have and certain things that worry you, etc. How do you feel about touring? Because I'm looking at the dates lined up, starting June the 1st. Off you go into the big wide world. Is it something that you prefer to the studio, or is it the other way round?
Oh, that's a really good question. The easy answer is probably to say I like both.
Yeah.
I think both serve different purposes for me. Being in the studio is where I feel I can really, I love creating. I love building something out of nothing. I have just a little idea that then becomes 3 minutes of magic somehow. But when I'm touring, when I'm on stage, I feel completely safe. Like I don't know, maybe this because, I know that the people that have come to see me, they love my music, hopefully, and they're there for me. They're on my side. It's just a very comforting feeling. And it's also where a lot of those moments in the studio, those songs, they come to life because, we live in such a digital world, and certainly post-pandemic, I think people really have missed this human connection, and live music, live entertainment is where we get that back. But there is something quite eerie and spooky, but very special about the connection between an artist and an audience, because you don't know each other really. People have a better opportunity to get to know me than I them because they can hear my music. Yet we have this amazing connection. Like we're connected through these moments in their life where my music has been important to them. The particular lyric that means so much to me, I'm sharing with them. It's very special exchange. So yeah, I'm an overthinker and, you know, I'm a perfectionist, but when I'm performing live, I really love that in the moment experience and connection with people.
And getting the right people to go on tour with you, not just on stage, but around you elsewhere, that must be crucial.
It is. And a lot of it is, you know, I struggle with delegation. You know, I'm one of these people, I just do it myself. And so that's something I need to work on, allowing other people to do things for me. But yeah, having people around you that have the right energy, that might sound a bit woo-woo, but it's really important. You know, I've had experiences where I've got an amazing musician or, you know, fantastic guitarist, for example, but the energy's wrong and it can really kill everything. It really makes it very, very difficult. So yeah, the energy is so important, the right feeling. But I'm very lucky. I've got a great team who are very supportive and know me quite well now and put up with my strangeness and my oddities, as we all have.
Oh yeah.
The right team is crucial.
Well, have a brilliant time on tour. We need to get you to the Isle of Man. I haven't asked you this. Have you actually ever been to the Isle of Man?
I haven't.
Okay. Well, this becomes more and more important.
Doesn't it?
We need to get you here somehow. Maybe not on this tour, but if our people talk to your people and those people talk to somebody else, we must make it happen. Okay?
Let's do it. I would love to. Any opportunities to come, you know, see a new crowd. And I've heard that you guys are very special and very friendly out there. So.
Very friendly. Very, very friendly. Some lovely venues as well. You won't be disappointed. This last track to end the week, Happy and Sad. Now, that's a heck of a title of a song, and it's a lovely song. Talk me through this.
So Casey Musgraves, I discovered a few years ago with her Golden Hour album. And the album it blew a lot of people away, but it was a real moment for me hearing that record, because I just felt it was so refreshing to hear, you know, a young, new artist, a contemporary artist, writing these kinds of songs that I grew up listening to from those kind of warmer, older eras. You know, this song very much ties into what we were talking about earlier, you know, kind of putting on a brave face and you know, being afraid to be too happy because you might be disappointed, you know, and if you have expectations, then can be let down and all that kind of, you know, swinging from left to right all the time. And the song just really resonated with me. And I just love the sonics of it. She wrote it with Daniel Tashian and Ian Fitchuk, who are Nashville-based songwriters and producers, who I've now discovered I literally love everything they've ever done, which is something funny, isn't it? When you look at the details of credits and realize that these people are across so many records you love. It's so interesting. But yeah, I really love it. It is exactly what it is in the title. It's a happy song, but also a sad song. And I think it reflects how a lot of us feel sometimes.
Harriet, thank you for joining us on MiTunes this week. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you around. Best of luck with the tour. Here's to massive, massive success with the outcome. And we'll be playing lots more from it here on Manx Radio.
Thank you so much for having me, Mark. Thank you to all your lovely listeners. And thank you so much to the station for your support.
It's not you, it's the glow of the party, the way that you've got me lit up inside. It's the song that they're playing, the words that you're saying. It's never felt so right. And I'm the kind of person who starts getting kind of nervous when I'm having the time of my life. Is there a word for the keep on drinking, 'cause I don't wanna wake up where they're turning the lights on, and it turns out the joke's on me, 'cause it feels so right. And I'm the kind of person who starts getting kind of nervous when I'm having the time of my life. Is there a word for the way that I'm feeling tonight? Happy and sad at the same time. You got me smiling with tears in my eyes. I've never felt so high. No, I've never been this far off of the ground. And they say everything that goes up must come down. I don't wanna come down. I don't mind it all. No, I'm used to falling. I'm comfortable when the sky is gray. But when everything is perfect, I start hiding, 'cause I know that rain is coming my way. My way. 'Cause I'm happy and sad at the same time. You got me smiling with tears in my eyes. I never felt so high. No, I've never been this far off of the ground. And they say everything that goes up must come down. And I don't wanna come down. No, I don't wanna come down.
Lovely choice. Casey Musgraves, Happy and Sad. The choice of my guest all this week, who has been Harriet. And we really do hope to get her over to the Isle of Man before too much longer. I'm Marc Tyley. Join me if you can for the morning show, 9:30 to 12, Monday to Friday, right here at manxradio.com. Oh, and thanks for dropping by for the podcast. Don't forget, new ones coming all the time here at manxradio.com.